Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie, and we are going to be reading the Bible cover to cover beginning January 1st, 2023, and read all the way through until December 31st, 2023. I am starting the channel early so that people have a chance to find us. And if you have, remember to subscribe, like, and share. So today we're going to be talking about the power of prayer and when it doesn't seem so powerful. Sorry, but yeah, we're going to go there. We're going to be reading out of Matthew 26, certain portions. Matthew 26 is a very long chapter, and I just want to break it up a little bit so it's more cohesive with what we're going to be talking about. This is a moment in time when Jesus is really facing the cross. He is very aware that the prophecies are going to be fulfilled. He is very aware that God has asked him to do this, to save us from all the sin that we managed to get ourselves into. And so he basically is pleading with God. And I am confident that we have all pleaded with God in our prayers at some point in our lives. We have pleaded that he changes course. We have pleaded that he removes us from a situation. We have pleaded with him for things to change. And they don't change. So let's read this and see if we can figure out why. I'm going to be reading Matthew 26, verses 36 through 44, and then verses 50 through 54. If I can get my bookmark. All right. Then Jesus came with them to a place called Gethsemane and said to his disciples, "Sit here while I go there and pray." He took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee and began to be sorrowful and severely troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch with me." He went forward a little. He fell on his face and prayed, saying, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass away from me. Nevertheless, not what I desire, but what you desire." He came to the disciples and found them sleeping and said to Peter, "What? Couldn't you watch with me for 1 hour? Watch and pray that you don't enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Again, for a second time, he went away and prayed, saying, "My Father, if this cup can't pass away from me unless I drink it, your desire be done." He came again and found them sleeping, for their eyes were heavy. He left them again, went away, and prayed a third time, saying the same words. And then as we skip down after his prayers, Jesus said to Judas, "Friend, why are you here?" Then the soldiers came and laid hands on Jesus and took him. Behold, one of those who were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his ear. Then Jesus said to him, "Put your sword back into its place, for all those who take the sword will die by the sword. Or do you think that I couldn't ask my Father, and he would even now send me more than 12 legions of angels? How then would the scriptures be fulfilled that it must be so? So the reason I picked this today is because Jesus, facing this enormity of what is to come, begging the Lord 3 times that we're aware of out of the Bible to please, please, no, please change course. Please pull me out of this situation if it is your will. And then as he finds out that it's God's will to stay on course, he reprimands his disciple and says, don't you think I can call all the angels to come help me? And, you know, what I like to think is, don't you think I've already called the angels to come and help me? But that's not what it says. My mind goes on funny little trails. So in our lives, I think we can take this example, and if people are saying the power of prayer, you know, what is that? I've been praying for years. I have prayed and prayed and prayed, and you know, my family members still got sick. I've prayed and prayed and prayed, and I'm still in financial trouble. I've prayed and prayed and prayed, and you know, there's still war. There is every level of suffering that we have to go through. And just because we're praying and our prayers are not being answered, that does not mean that the prayers are not being heard. It says in Psalms that God bends his ear to us and he hears us. It is very possible that we are just not going to change course. Can you imagine if God would have answered Jesus' prayers? Can you imagine if he would have sent his legions of angels because he listened to Jesus' prayers? Where would that have left us? We would have been stuck in the law of Moses. We would have been suffering with sin. Sometimes the power of prayer, God has to continue course. And it is very uncomfortable in the moment. It could be heartbreaking in the moment. It could be confusing in the moment. But God's will, it is way more powerful than anything we could ever conjure up. He is the creator of heaven and earth, down to the very last biological cell and atom, which we're going to get into that in 2023, how detailed and specific he is in everything he does. Who are we to say, God, change course, this isn't working? Who am I to say this is not working? It's working. It's working. So if you have your prayers out there, or if you've had your prayers out there in the past that you feel God didn't listen to you and therefore there is no God, he hears every single prayer. But sometimes it's his decision to just stay on course. And we have to rest in that. So, sorry for the heaviness today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.